I remember the day I first told my family I was going to build a disaster warning system. They looked at me like I just announced I was planning to climb Mount Everest with a blindfold. My father scoffed. "You're wasting your time on that junk. Who do you think you are? Some kind of hero? That's just a pipe dream, kid. You'll fail, just like all your crazy ideas." My mother shook her head, her eyes full of disappointment, as if I'd somehow betrayed the family's name by daring to dream differently. And my siblings? They teased me relentlessly, calling me the radio guy, mocking my obsession with old radios and wiring schemes. They said I was an embarrassment, that my obsession was pointless, that I'd never amount to anything. That day, I felt my world crumbling. I was just a grassroots tech inventor, a kid who believed that even the most broken, discarded things could be saved and turned into something meaningful. But their words sank deep, a poison that threatened to drown my resolve. For years, I let their ridicule fuel. I poured every ounce of my energy into proving them wrong. I was ousted from a prestigious aerospace firm, an opportunity I'd worked for years to get, by a manipulative supervisor who stole my idea, took credit for my breakthrough, and left me feeling like I'd been punched in the gut. The anger, the humiliation, those feelings became my fuel. I knew I had to go back to basics, to the roots of what I believed in: community, resilience, and practical innovation. I remembered how my grandmother's old radio, broken and silent, was once the only connection to the outside world during storms. That's where my idea was born, using repurposed old radios to detect seismic activity, to give communities a fighting chance before disaster struck. It was ridiculed at every turn. Obsolete technology, they said. Impossible to use in real time, they sneered. I was told it would never work, that I was wasting my time chasing shadows. But I saw potential. Raw, gritty, real potential. I worked tirelessly, soldering, rewiring, tweaking, testing in my garage. Every setback felt like a punch to the stomach, but I pushed through. I learned from failure, from every broken radio and false alarm. I built a network, small at first, just a handful of units in my town. And then something extraordinary happened. One day, the earth trembled. An earthquake of magnitude 6.8 hit a nearby town. The official systems failed to warn anyone in time, but my DIY network, it blared warnings through the static, alerting rescue teams and residents. The system worked. It saved lives. Dozens of people survived because of those ancient radios, those relics my family had mocked me for. That moment changed everything. I knew I had something real, something that could make a difference. I expanded my network, connecting more communities, refining the system, making it affordable and accessible. Word spread. Governments took notice. NGOs adopted my designs. I became a symbol of resilience, proof that even the most dismissed ideas could save lives. Years later, I returned home, not as the radio guy mocked by my family, but as someone who'd built something monumental. I had transformed barren lands into thriving ecosystems, turning drought-ravaged fields into lush, green havens. I used my disaster warning tech to help farmers anticipate floods, to prevent landslides, to secure communities from the chaos of nature. I had taken their skepticism and turned it into a legacy of hope and tangible change. But the most unforgettable moment came when I stood in front of my family, now witnessing firsthand what their derision had missed. It was a small town, once forgotten, now alive with green. Children played in fields I had helped restore. Farmers smiled as they checked their new irrigation systems powered by my tech. And then I activated the warning system, an unassuming radio network humming quietly in the background. Suddenly, a tremor hit. The ground shuddered beneath us. The system blared through the static, loud and clear. My family looked at me, stunned, as the warnings flashed on their screens. They saw the earthquake coming, saw the lives it could have destroyed, and realized, finally, that I had been right all along. My father's jaw clenched. My mother's eyes widened with disbelief. My siblings, who once mocked me endlessly, stood silent, faces pale. They had mocked my ridiculous dreams, dismissed my efforts, called me an embarrassment. And in that moment, I felt a profound sense of catharsis. Not just because I was proven right, but because I had finally shown them what resilience, perseverance, and belief in oneself could achieve. It was the universe's way of delivering justice, karma's ledger settling its score. But what struck me most wasn't their silent acknowledgement. It was the realization that I didn't need their approval anymore. I had built something real. I had saved lives. I had turned my pain into purpose. Their mockery had been a catalyst, pushing me to dig deeper, to believe in the impossible. Now, standing there, I saw that success isn't about popularity or approval. It's about staying true to your vision, even when everyone else doubts you. It's about turning trash into treasure, failure into triumph, despair into hope. And most of all, it's about knowing that your journey can change the world, no matter how small you start. So, to anyone out there listening, don't let the noise of doubt drown your voice. Your ridiculous dream might be the very thing that saves lives, transforms communities, and proves that resilience always wins. Because in the end, the universe rewards those who never give up, who keep building, keep believing, and keep pushing forward, even when the world laughs at you. And when you succeed, you don't just prove them wrong, you redefine what's possible. That's the real power of perseverance. That's the true victory. And that, my friends, is the story of how I turned static into salvation, mockery into miracle, and a family's doubt into a legacy of hope.